Good morning, people. Welcome to the video, and today we are going to address one of the most commonly asked questions that I get. This is something that people comment on almost every single one of my videos. What do I bring on my rides? So I'm going to take you through every single thing I bring, everything that's in my pockets, everything that's in my tool bottle, everything that's on my bike. I'm going to tell you all about my accessories and the logic behind them. And I feel like I'm a person that I ride very light on, so I don't carry much stuff. And I feel like because of that, it means that I have to refine what I carry, make sure I don't carry anything excessive that I don't need. So I think I've got it down to pretty fine art. There is one room for improvement, which I'll ask you guys about. I want to get your opinion on it. But yeah, I'm quite excited to share this because I know a lot of people are wondering what I bring on the bike. The other question I get asked so much is, how come you only run one water bottle? Don't worry guys, all your questions will be answered.
In today's ride, we're going to be going 100 kilometers all the way up to the beautiful Brooklyn Bridge. We're going to have coffee at Estuary, and then on the way back, we're going to do Bobbin Head. So come along with me on this 100k ride where I show you everything that I bring on the bike.
Alright guys, so how I'm going to structure this is I'm going to go through everything that's in my pockets first. Then I'm going to show you what's in my tool bottle and then what's on my bike. Absolutely cracking day. It was meant to rain and look at this. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Alright, so first of all, what's in my pockets today? This is going to be a 100k ride and this is what I'm bringing for the on the bike nutrition. Fix Nutrition are very nicely one of our sponsors of our race team. And that means all my riding and running, I use their product, and I'm more than happy to because it is delicious and awesome. So what I brought on for this ride today, I brought 3 gels. Lemon sorbet at the front, vanilla maple in the middle, and raspberry fizz, I believe, at the back. And these are not just straight glucose. If some of you guys know and you've done your research, your body can only absorb so much glucose per hour, but your body can also absorb fructose as a form of carbs. So what they've got here is they've got a 1 to 0.8 fructose ratio. So that is formulated so you can have maximum absorption of carbs on your rides. So that's what I'm going to do for this ride. I'm probably not going to eat all of them. I'll probably have 2 of them. What else have I got in the back pocket? I've also got a drink mix. This one is fantastic because it's already pre-portioned. You can just rip off the top, put in your drink bottle, and away you go. You're sorted for that whole bottle. So that's what I got for on the bike nutrition. I'll also have like a muffin at the cafe, which I'm eating right now. Now I'm wearing a skin suit, so I've only got 2 pockets. I usually carry my phone in another pocket. And what I've been carrying as well recently, the Psy Plus pump. This is super handy because I hate using CO2s. And this is also gonna be the reason why I'm gonna ask for your opinion, guys, about switching up something in my setup. Time for the deepest, darkest secret. What am I carrying in the tool bottle?
At this point, the wind picked up so much to the point where the audio in this video was unusable. So I am just going to do a voiceover now and you guys can enjoy that instead. First thing that's in my tool bottle is a cloth. I always bring one of these for 2 reasons. 1, if your hands ever get dirty because you're doing mechanical work, you can just wipe it onto the cloth and you can have nice clean hands. And the second is it stops things from rattling around in your tool bottle. I hate the sound of things rattling around, so I always stuff this cloth into the top. Second is my CO2 inflator. CO2 inflator, you just gotta have if you're carrying CO2s. Like I said before, I'm not a big fan of using them, but I will go more into that later. The next thing, tire levers. These here are not fantastic because they do bend, but they are the thinnest tire levers that I've found and they fit really well into my tool bottle. I've brought a pocket knife, which I've actually only used like once or twice, but I've figured that it's handy to have. And of course, you gotta have a multi-tool. This Park Tool multi-tool has every single hex on it that I need on my bike. Next up, we've got a beautiful tube, and I always make sure that the valve on my tube is long enough for the wheels that I'm using. And last but definitely not least, I always carry a $5 note.
$5 note. $5 note's very handy. can get you out of spotter trouble, or you can use it as a tire boot. And that's it. That's everything I put in my tool bottle cage. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, one of the reasons why I've been bringing CO2, been using butyl tubes is because you can't use a CO2 into the TPU tubes. That's what I've been told. But now that I've got the electronic pump, instead of carrying a butyl tube, I can carry some TPU ones instead. So what are your opinions on that, guys? And because these are so big, I can probably carry 2 TPU tubes now. So I think that's gonna be the change I'm gonna do. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. But that's everything I carry in there. And I've been doing this setup for years. I've never had any trouble, and it's been, everything I need is there. So I think the only thing I'd improve is carrying an extra tube. Instead of 1, I'll have 2. And then yeah, by getting rid of the CO2 in the inflator and the butyl tube, I can almost probably carry 3 TPU tubes in there, and then just carry the electronic inflator in my pocket. All right, let's go over to the bike and talk about my accessories on the bike.
All right, let's have a little chat about what I have on the bike. We'll start with the front end of the bike. My front light is an exposure joystick. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. This is a very expensive light. It's over 300 Australian dollars, but it does some things very, very well, which I like. First of all, the form factor is really nice and clean. It is light, and the battery life lasts a long time. On top of that, for such a small light, it is 1,100 lumens, which is fantastic during winter for giving you visibility on the road, but also for lighting up the path. So yeah, this is a light that I've been using for quite a few years. I found it really good. It's quite sturdy as well. In terms of mounting the light, Exposure sell just a standard GoPro mount. So it's like a clip that goes on top, and then it's got a GoPro attachment. So that just goes into the bottom of my blender mount on the front of my Bontrager handlebars. Next up is head unit. I've been using Garmin head units ever since I started cycling. This is the one that I bought maybe 3-4 years ago, and it's still going strong. That being said, the battery life is not as good as it used to be. I probably have to charge it midway through the week. That's all right though. What I do have on here though is I've got a little black case with some ears, which I thought was cute. I bought it off Temu for a few dollars. In fact, the postage was actually more expensive than the case. But this case has actually been good because I've dropped the Garmin before, and I thought surely the screen was gonna crack, and it saved it. So look, I know it looks a bit funny, but functional and looks nice in my opinion. So yeah, it does the job well. And moving on to the back of the bike. On the back of the bike, I run an Exposure Tracer React light. Once again, same rationale as the one on the front. I really like this one because it's small, discreet, does its job really well, and probably the only downside is how expensive they are. So this one here is about 150 Australian dollars, but it's got some cool features. So one of those features is that it's got an accelerometer. When you're braking hard, the light will go from solid to flashing or vice versa, just to notify people behind you that you actually are braking. I mount this light onto my bike with a saddle rail mount, so it sits directly below the seat, and I think that's a really clean setup. It looks really nice and tidy. And to address the last questions that people had, which was to do with me running only one water bottle. So during the autumn and winter months, when it's cooler, I only run one water bottle because I simply just don't need a second one. One of the benefits of organizing a lot of the rides is I know where the water stops are going to be. So if they're going to be about less than 40 or 50 kilometers, I can usually get away with one water bottle, which means I put all my tools in the tool bottle, which you've seen. With that being said, this ride that I'm doing in the footage today, I've started to run out of water, and I think that marks the end of running one water bottle till the end of summer. So I'm going to be having 2. I'm going to usually do water in one, drink mix in the other. And what will I do with all my tools? I usually put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'll put that Ziploc bag in my back pocket. And finally, if you're wondering why I don't use a saddle bag, it's just a personal preference. I don't think they look that good in my opinion. So I don't run one. Now I know that might be a bit controversial, so let me know in the comments below if you've got a strong opinion about that. But yeah. That is going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's pretty cool that people want to watch my videos and also see how I do my bike setup and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
This man doesn't muck around with on the bike nutrition. What is this? Double Gatorade, double Schweppes.
I don't need it. That was fucked.